Olivia Franklin pulled her thick jacket tighter as the cold Alaska wind blew through the trees. The morning sun barely warmed the forest as she hiked along her usual trail. As a wildlife veterinarian at the Northern Research Station, she often spent her free time exploring the wilderness. Today felt different, though. The animals were quiet, and the air had a strange smell like metal and ozone. She paused, listening. A faint sound caught her attention, not the normal sounds of the forest, but something like a low hum followed by a crash. Curious and concerned, Olivia changed direction, moving toward the noise. After 15 minutes of difficult hiking through thick brush, Olivia reached a small clearing. She stopped suddenly, her mouth open in shock. In the center of the clearing sat a small spacecraft, about the size of her pickup truck. Smoke rose from one side where it had dug into the earth. The craft had a smooth, silver surface that seemed to change color slightly as clouds passed overhead. "This can't be real," Olivia whispered to herself. She took out her phone, but the screen showed no signal. Slowly, carefully, she approached the craft. A section of the spacecraft's side had a crack running through it. As Olivia got closer, she noticed the crack was actually a door, now partly open. Strange marks that looked like writing covered the surface. They glowed faintly blue against the silver background. Olivia's heart pounded in her chest. She should call someone, report this. But who would believe her? And what if someone inside needed help? "Hello?" she called out. "Is anyone there? Are you hurt?" Only silence answered her. Taking a deep breath, Olivia pulled a small flashlight from her backpack and peered through the opening. The inside of the craft was dark, with blinking lights on what seemed to be a control panel. Then her light caught movement in the corner. A small creature lay curled up, shaking. It looked somewhat like a bear cub or a fox kit, but with striking differences. Its fur was a deep blue that seemed to shine with its own light. When the creature turned toward her light, Olivia gasped. It had 6 eyes, 3 on each side of its face, all glowing a gentle green. A dark liquid that looked like blood matted the fur on one of its 6 limbs. The creature made a soft sound like bells and clicks mixed together. It tried to move away from the light, but whimpered in pain. All of Olivia's fear disappeared in an instant. Whatever this being was, it was young, injured, and scared. Her training as a veterinarian took over. "It's okay," she said softly, using the calm voice she used with injured wild animals. "I won't hurt you. I want to help." The creature watched her with all 6 eyes as she slowly moved closer. Olivia set down her backpack and took out her first aid kit. She always carried it on hikes, though she never expected to use it on an alien. "I'm going to check your injury, okay?" Olivia spoke gently as she moved. She knew the creature couldn't understand her words, but her tone seemed to calm it. The alien cub made a soft trilling sound and stopped trying to move away. Carefully, Olivia examined the wound. The limb wasn't broken, but there was a deep cut that was still bleeding. The blood was purple, not red, but it seemed to work the same way. The cub needed the bleeding stopped, and the wound cleaned. As Olivia worked. The cub stayed surprisingly still, only making small sounds when she touched tender spots. Its fur felt like silk under her fingers, and its body was warmer than an earth mammal would be. "You're being very brave," Olivia told the cub as she finished bandaging its limb. "But I can't leave you here. The temperature will drop tonight, and that wound needs better care." She looked around the spacecraft. It was clearly damaged, with sparks occasionally jumping from the control panel. It didn't seem safe to leave the cub here, but taking an alien back to her cabin was definitely not in any wildlife management handbook. The cub made another sound, this one almost like a question. It tried to stand but fell back down with a pained cry that settled it for Olivia. She couldn't leave an injured baby alone, not even an alien one. "Okay, little one, you're coming with me." She took off her jacket and gently wrapped it around the cub. It was surprisingly light as she lifted it, maybe 15 pounds. The cub didn't fight, but snuggled into the warmth of the jacket. Olivia walked carefully back through the forest. The cub watched everything with wide, curious eyes, occasionally making soft clicking sounds. Once, when a bird flew overhead, all 6 eyes followed it with interest. When Olivia finally reached her cabin, she was tired but relieved. The research station was small, with only 4 cabins spread far apart. Her nearest neighbor, Sam Miller, was about half a mile away. That was good. She needed time to figure out what to do. Inside her cabin, Olivia made a soft bed from blankets and set the cub down. Under better light, she could see more details. The cub had small, pointed ears that moved independently, and its 6 limbs ended in paws with retractable claws. Its face looked somewhat cat-like, but with those unusual eyes and a shorter snout, Olivia cleaned the wound properly and put on a better bandage. The cub watched her work with clear intelligence in its eyes. When she finished, it made a soft, purring sound and licked her hand with a purple tongue. "You need a name," Olivia said, smiling despite the strangeness of the situation. "How about Nova? You came from the stars after all." The cub Nova tilted its head as if considering the name. Then it made a happy trilling sound that Olivia took as approval. After giving Nova water, which it drank eagerly, and some cooked chicken from her refrigerator, Olivia sat down to think. She should report this, but to whom? The government would take Nova away, probably to some lab. The thought made her stomach turn. A knock at the door made Olivia jump. Nova immediately hid under the blankets. "Olivia, you in there?" "I saw you come back from your hike," called a familiar voice. It was Sam, the wildlife biologist who worked with her at the station. Olivia looked at the lump under the blankets where Nova hid. She couldn't keep this secret alone. She needed help, and Sam was the smartest person she knew. "Coming, Sam," she called. Then she whispered to Nova, "It's okay, he's a friend." When she opened the door, Sam's friendly smile quickly changed to concern. "Are you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." Olivia took a deep breath. "Not a ghost. Something much more incredible. But you have to promise to keep it secret, at least for now." Sam nodded slowly, curious. "I promise." "What's going on?" Olivia stepped aside and let him in. "Sam, I found something in the forest today. Something that will change everything we know about life in the universe." As if on cue, Nova poked its head out from under the blankets. All 6 green eyes blinked at Sam, who stood frozen in the doorway. "Holy ... Sam whispered, his eyes wide. "Is that what I think it is?" Olivia nodded. "Meet Nova. She's injured, scared, and a very long way from home. Then I think she needs our help." Sam stood in the doorway, his eyes fixed on Nova. The alien cub made a soft, trilling sound and tilted its head, all 6 green eyes blinking curiously. "This is real," Sam whispered. "An actual alien." He looked at Olivia. "Where did you find it?" "Her," Olivia corrected. "I found her in a crashed spacecraft about 2 miles into the forest. She was hurt, and I couldn't just leave her there." Sam slowly entered the cabin and closed the door. He moved carefully, trying not to scare Nova. The cub watched him with interest, but stayed close to Olivia. "We should call someone," Sam said. "The authorities, scientists, someone who knows how to handle this." Olivia shook her head. "And then what?" "They'll take her away, lock her in some lab. She's injured and scared. She's just a baby." Sam ran his hands through his hair. "Olivia, this is huge. This is first contact with alien life. This changes everything." "I know," Olivia said. "But look at her, Sam. She's not just some scientific discovery. She's a living being." Nova made a soft clicking sound and tried to stand. Her bandaged limb wobbled, but she managed to stay upright. She took a few steps toward Sam, sniffing the air. Sam knelt down slowly. "Hey there," he said softly. Nova approached him cautiously, then reached out one of her good limbs and touched his knee. She made a sound like small bells. "She likes you," Olivia said with a smile. "This is amazing," Sam whispered. He gently offered his hand to Nova, who sniffed it before giving it a small lick with her purple tongue. "Okay, I see your point. But what's your plan? We can't keep an alien secret forever." "We can for now," Olivia said. "At least until she's healed and we figure out more about her." "I need your help, Sam. You're the only one I trust with this." Sam nodded slowly. "Okay, And what do we do first?" For the next 2 weeks, Olivia and Sam cared for Nova. The cub's wound healed quickly, faster than any Earth animal would recover. Nova grew stronger each day and started exploring the cabin. She was smart, learning to communicate through gestures and drawings. Using a tablet, she could point to pictures to show what she wanted. One evening, Olivia sat at her desk reviewing some notes while Nova played with a ball on the floor. The cub had shown them that she was from a place called Lyria, far away among the stars. She had been part of a scientific mission studying Earth. From orbit, when something went wrong with her pod, Sam came in with supplies from town. "Any luck with the communication device?" he asked. Olivia shook her head. "Nova tried to draw it, but I don't understand the technology. She keeps looking at the sky, though. I think she's expecting someone to come for her." Nova suddenly stopped playing. Her ears perked up and all 6 eyes widened. She made an urgent clicking sound and rushed to the window, pointing at the sky. "What is it, Nova?" Olivia joined her at the window but saw nothing unusual in the night sky. Nova became more excited, making sounds they had never heard before. She ran to the tablet and began drawing frantically. The picture showed a large spacecraft, much bigger than the one Olivia had found. "I think her people are coming," Sam said, looking worried. "What do we do?" "We have to take her back to the crash site," Olivia decided. "If they're looking for her, that's where they'll start." They packed quickly. Olivia put Nova in a backpack carrier while Sam gathered some supplies. They set off into the forest as night fell completely, using flashlights to guide their way. Nova kept making excited sounds, her fur glowing slightly in the darkness. When they reached the clearing, the crashed spacecraft was still there, but something was different. The air felt charged with electricity, and the stars above seemed to shimmer strangely. "Look." Sam pointed up. A section of the night sky began to warp and twist. Then, silently, a large ship appeared. It was beautiful, like liquid silver, with glowing blue markings similar to those on Nova's crashed pod. It hovered above the clearing, casting a soft blue light over everything. Nova wiggled out of the carrier and stood on the ground, making loud, musical calls toward the ship. A beam of light shot down from the ship to the center of the clearing. 3 tall figures appeared in the light. They looked similar to Nova, but were much larger, standing on 2 limbs while using the other, for balance and movement. Their blue fur shimmered with patterns that seemed to shift and change. They wore simple silver clothing that reflected the blue light. "They're here," Olivia whispered. She felt a mix of awe and fear. "What do we do?" "We show them we come in?" "Peace," Sam suggested. "And that we've been taking care of Nova," Olivia nodded. Slowly, they stepped forward into the edge of the blue light. Nova ran ahead, making happy sounds. The 3 adult aliens turned toward them. One of them, slightly taller than the others, stepped forward. The tall alien held up a small device. A moment later, a voice came from it, speaking English with a strange musical quality. "You have our child," the alien said. "Return her to us." Nova ran back to Olivia, tugging at her hand, then pointing to the aliens. She made a series of clicks and whistles. "I think she's telling them that we helped her," Sam whispered. Olivia knelt down next to Nova. "We found her injured in the crashed pod," she explained, speaking clearly and pointing to the wreckage. "I'm a doctor for animals. I helped heal her wound." She gently touched Nova's now healed limb. The tall alien stepped closer, all 6 eyes focusing intently on Olivia. "You helped our child? You did not capture her for study?" "No," Olivia said firmly. "We protected her. We cared for her." The alien conferred with the others in a language of musical clicks and whistles. Nova joined in, speaking rapidly and pointing at Olivia and Sam. Finally, the tall alien approached them. "I am Commander Zeth of the Virith exploration vessel Celestial Voyager. Our youngling, whom you call Nova, tells us you saved her life and treated her with kindness." Zeth's eyes blinked in a pattern. "This is unexpected. Our observations of humans suggested you would react with fear or violence to beings not of your world." "Some might," Sam admitted, "but not everyone." Zeth studied them for a long moment. "Nova says you gave her a name, shelter, and healing. You kept her secret from your authorities." "Why?" Olivia looked at Nova, who was watching her with all 6 eyes. "Because she needed help. She was scared and hurt. It didn't matter that she wasn't human. She was a child who needed care. Zeth made a sound like chiming bells. This compassion for an unknown species is ... remarkable. The alien turned to the others and they spoke rapidly in their language. When Zeth turned back, the alien's demeanor had changed. Olivia Franklin, Sam Miller, you have done the Virith a great service. Nova is not just any child. She is the daughter of our High Council leader, sent on this mission for education. Her loss would have been devastating to our people. Nova ran to Olivia and wrapped all 6 limbs around her in a hug. Olivia felt tears in her eyes as she hugged the alien cub back. What happens now? Sam asked. Zeth's voice became formal. Humans were not ready for contact with the Virith, according to our protocols, but circumstances have changed. We would like to offer you both something no human has ever been given before. Olivia and Sam stood in the blue light from the alien ship, waiting for Commander Zeth to continue. Nova stayed close to Olivia, making soft purring sounds. We would like to invite you to visit our homeworld, Lyria, Zeth said. No human has ever seen it before. You would be the first. Olivia's eyes widened. Your planet? You want us to go to your planet? Yes, Zeth replied. Your kindness toward Nova has shown us that some humans are ready for deeper contact with the Virith. Our leaders wish to meet you and learn from you. Sam looked stunned. How far away is Lyria? 17 light years from your Earth, one of the other aliens said, stepping forward. This one had lighter blue fur with silver markings. I am Carrie, the ship's scientist. The journey would take 3 months in our vessel. 3 months? Olivia whispered. But our jobs, our lives here ... Nova made a sad sound and tugged at Olivia's hand. She pointed to herself, then to Olivia, then to the ship. I think she wants you to come, Sam said softly. Zeth nodded. Nova has formed a bond with you, Olivia Franklin. She wishes you to visit her world. But we understand this is a significant decision. We can give you time to consider. Olivia knelt down next to Nova. The cub's 6 green eyes looked into hers with intelligence and hope. I would miss you too, Nova, she said gently. Sam put his hand on Olivia's shoulder. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Olivia. Actually, it's a once-in-human-history opportunity. But 3 months there and 3 months back, Olivia? Sighed. That's half a year away from Earth. Actually, Kiri interjected, you would travel in suspended animation for most of the journey. To you, it would feel like only a few days. Zeth made a gesture, and a small section of the ship descended to the ground. It was a platform with railings. Perhaps you would like to see our vessel? It might help you decide. Nova jumped excitedly, pulling Olivia toward the platform. After a moment's hesitation, Olivia nodded. Okay, we'll take a look. She and Sam stepped onto the platform with Nova. It rose smoothly into the air, carrying them up into the ship. Inside they gasped. The interior was beautiful, with curved walls that glowed with soft light. Everything looked smooth and organic, nothing like the angular human spacecraft they had seen in pictures. This is amazing, Sam whispered, turning. In a circle to take it all in, Virith crew members moved around the ship, all with the same blue fur and 6 eyes as Nova, though with different patterns and markings. They stopped to stare at the humans with obvious curiosity. Kiri led them through the ship, explaining how it worked. Nova stayed close to Olivia, occasionally explaining things in her own way through gestures and drawings on a pad Kiri gave her. Our ship uses what you might call a fold space drive, Kiri explained. We do not travel through space so much as fold it around us. Sam looked fascinated, asking technical questions that Kiri seemed pleased to answer. Olivia was more interested in the Virith themselves. They seemed gentle and curious. With a society based on knowledge and exploration. After the tour, they returned to the main deck where Zeth waited. Have you made your decision? The commander asked. Olivia looked at Nova, then at Sam. I need to talk to some people first. This isn't just about me. There are protocols on Earth for first contact situations. Zeth nodded. We understand. We have remained hidden from your world for centuries, studying your development. Perhaps it is time. for that to change. They returned to the ground, and Zeth gave Olivia a small device. This will allow you to contact us when you have decided. We will remain in orbit around your planet for 3 of your days. Nova made a sad sound as she realized Olivia wasn't coming with them right away. She hugged Olivia tightly. I'll see you soon, Nova, Olivia promised, hugging her back. I just need a little time. The next morning, Olivia and Sam sat in the office of Bill Parker, the director of their research station. He stared at them with disbelief after they told him everything. Aliens? You found an alien cub and now its parents want to take you to their planet? He shook his head. If anyone else told me this story, I'd have them drug tested. It's true, sir, Sam insisted. And we need to inform the proper authorities. This is first contact. Bill sighed. I'm going to make some calls. Wait here. What followed was a whirlwind of activity. Government officials arrived at the station by helicopter. They questioned Olivia and Sam for hours. Scientists, military personnel, and diplomats all wanted to know about the virus. We need to approach this carefully, said Linda Harris, a senior diplomat who had been flown in. This could be the most important moment in human history. They're peaceful, Olivia insisted. They've been observing us for centuries without interfering. They just want to learn. And they specifically asked for you to visit their planet? Linda asked. Olivia nodded. Yes, I think because I helped Nova when she was hurt. They value compassion. After 2 days of meetings, a decision was made. A small group would meet with the Verith representatives. Olivia would accept their invitation. But as an official ambassador from Earth, Sam would stay behind to help coordinate from the human side. Are you sure about this? Sam asked Olivia as they prepared for the meeting. It's a huge responsibility. Olivia took a deep breath. I know. But ever since I found Nova, I felt like this is what I'm meant to do, connect our worlds. When they met with the Verith again, this time with a small group of Earth officials, Zeth seemed pleased with the decision. Olivia Franklin will be welcomed on Lyria, the commander said. We will treat her with honor as the first human ambassador, Linda stepped forward. We have one request. We would like to establish communication between our worlds during her visit. Kiri nodded. We can provide technology for this purpose. It will allow limited communication across the distance. Nova, who had been standing with Zeth, ran to Olivia and hugged her excitedly. She made happy, trilling sounds. I think she's glad you're coming, Sam said with a smile. The next day, Olivia stood at the edge of the clearing with a small bag of personal items. The government had given her special equipment to document her journey and communicate when possible. Sam stood beside her, looking worried. Take care of yourself out there, he said, and take lots of notes. I want to hear everything when you get back, Olivia hugged him. I will. Take care of my cabin, okay? The Virith ship appeared above them, beautiful and silent. The platform descended, and Nova was waiting on it, bouncing with excitement. Zeth and Kiri stood behind her. Ready? Sam asked. Olivia took a deep breath and nodded. Ready? She stepped onto the platform beside Nova, who took her hand. As the platform rose toward the ship, Olivia looked back at Earth, at the forests and mountains of Alaska, at Sam waving below. She was about to see things no human had ever seen before. She was scared, but mostly she felt wonder. Nova squeezed her hand and pointed upward with another limb. Above them, stars were beginning to appear in the darkening sky. Your home is up. There? Olivia asked. Nova made a happy sound and nodded, her 6 eyes bright with excitement. Olivia smiled. Then let's go see it. The journey to Lyria took 3 months, but Olivia experienced it as only a few days. Most of the time she slept in a special pod that Kiri called suspended animation. When she was awake, she learned about the Virith from Nova and Kiri. Our world is similar to Earth in many ways, Kiri explained during one of their lessons. The air is breathable for you, but you will need supplements for long stays. Nova had grown a little during the journey. She was learning to speak simple English. Words, though she still mostly communicated through gestures and drawings. She loved to show Olivia pictures of Lyria and her family. Home, Nova said proudly, pointing to a drawing of a city with tall, crystal-like buildings. Olivia, see soon. On the final day of their journey, Zeth called Olivia to the ship's bridge. We are approaching Lyria. You should see it for yourself. Olivia stood by a large window as the ship slowed. Her breath caught in her throat. Lyria was beautiful, a blue-green planet with swirling white clouds and 3 small moons. As they got closer, she could see the continents and oceans. One of the oceans was purple instead of blue. It's amazing, Olivia whispered. Nova jumped excitedly beside her. Home, home! The ship entered the atmosphere smoothly. As they descended, Olivia saw vast forests with trees that seemed to glow. There were cities that looked like they were made of crystal and light. Rivers sparkled with colors she had never seen before. They landed on a platform near the largest city. When the ship's door opened, Olivia smelled the air of an alien world for the first time. It was sweet like flowers and spices mixed together. Are you ready? Zeth asked. Olivia nodded, her heart pounding with excitement and nervousness. Ready. Nova took her hand as they walked down the ramp. A crowd of Virith had gathered to see them. They were tall and elegant, with different shades of blue fur and various patterns. Some wore silver clothing, while others had colorful robes. All of them stared at Olivia with their 6 eyes wide. At the front of the crowd stood a Virith taller than the others. This one wore a robe that seemed to shift colors like the northern lights on Earth. 6 smaller Virith stood beside the tall one, all wearing similar but simpler robes. The High Council leader Eric's, Zeth whispered to Olivia. Nova's parent. Nova let go of Olivia's hand and ran to the tall Virith. They embraced with all their limbs, making musical sounds of happiness. Then Eric's looked up at Olivia. Human Olivia. Franklin, Eric said in perfect English, you saved my child when she was lost and injured. For this, all of Lyria owes you a debt that can never be fully repaid. Welcome to our world. Eric stepped forward and held out 2 limbs in greeting. Olivia took them gently in her hands. The Virith's fur was soft and warm. Thank you for your welcome, Olivia said. I'm honored to be here. Come, Eric said. There will be a ceremony to celebrate your arrival and my child's return. All of Lyria is watching. Olivia looked around and noticed small floating devices that looked like cameras. All of Lyria? Kiri nodded. The ceremony is being broadcast across our planet. You are the first human our people have ever seen. This is a historic day. Eric's led them to a large crystal building in the center of the city. Inside was a vast hall with walls that changed colors like the leader's robes. Thousands of Virith filled the space, all standing respectfully as Eric's entered with Nova and Olivia. The ceremony was unlike anything Olivia had experienced. The Virith sang in their musical language and lights danced around the hall. Nova stood proudly next to her parent, occasionally looking back at Olivia with happy eyes. Eric spoke to the gathered Virith. With sections translated for Olivia by Kiri, the leader told the story of Nova's accident, her rescue by Olivia, and what this meant for their 2 worlds. The human Olivia showed compassion for a being she had never seen before, Eric said. She risked much to protect and heal our child. This is the true measure of an advanced civilization, not its technology, but its capacity for kindness toward the unknown. After the ceremony, Olivia was shown to her living quarters, a beautiful room with windows overlooking the crystal city. The furniture was strange but comfortable, adapted for her human needs. Rest now, Kiri told her. Tomorrow you will begin learning about our world, and we will learn from you. That night, Olivia recorded a message to send back to Earth using the special communication device she had been given. I have arrived safely on Lyria, she reported. The Virith are peaceful and welcoming. Their world is beautiful beyond description. They're eager to establish peaceful relations with Earth. In the days that followed, Olivia became a student and a teacher. She learned about Virith culture, science, and history from Kiri and other scholars. In return, she taught them about Earth and humans. Nova visited her every day, eager to practice English and show Olivia new things. Today, Garden See, Nova said one morning, pulling Olivia by the hand. The gardens of Lyria were incredible. Plants moved as if they were alive and aware. Flowers changed colors when touched. Trees produced fruit that glowed in the dark. This one good, Nova said, picking a blue fruit shaped like a star. Eat. Olivia had been told that most Lyrian food was safe for humans. She took a bite. The fruit tasted like honey and mint together. Olivia became a celebrity on Lyria. Virith of all ages wanted to meet her, learn about Earth, and thank her for saving Nova. Children were especially curious, following her around and asking questions through their translation devices. Do all humans have only 2 eyes? One child asked. How do you see with only 2 eyes? Asked another. Why is your fur only on top of your head? Olivia answered their questions patiently, finding their curiosity endearing. One day, Eric's invited Olivia to a special meeting with the High Council. The 7 council members, including Eric's, sat in a circular chamber with Nova present as well. Olivia Franklin, Eric's began, you have been with us for 30 days now. In that time, you have shared much knowledge about humans and Earth. We believe it is time to establish more formal relations between our worlds. Olivia nodded. I think that would be wonderful. However, one of the other council members said, not all Virith agree. Some believe we should maintain our distance from humans until they advance further. Eric's nodded solemnly. There is a group called the Traditionalists who fear that contact with humans will change our culture. They have been vocal in their concerns. Have I done something wrong? Olivia asked, worried. No, Eric's assured her. You have been exemplary, but change is always difficult for some to accept. Nova moved to Olivia's side, taking her hand. Olivia good, she said firmly to the council. Humans good. Most of us agree, Eric said with what seemed like a smile. Which is why we wish to establish an embassy between our worlds, with you as the first official ambassador. What do you think? Olivia felt overwhelmed. She had come to love Lyria and its people, but this was a huge responsibility. I would be honored, she said finally. But I'm not a diplomat by training. You have something more important than training, Eric said. You have compassion. That is why Nova is alive. That is why you are here. As Olivia left the council chamber with Nova, she noticed a group of Virith watching her from a distance. Unlike the others she had met, these did not wave or greet her. Their eyes held something she hadn't seen in any Virith before, suspicion. Who are they? She asked Nova. Nova's ears flattened slightly. Traditionalists, she said quietly. Not like humans, not like change. Olivia felt a chill despite the warm Lyrian air. She had been so welcomed by most of the Virith that she had forgotten there might be those who didn't want her there. As she walked back to her quarters, she wondered what this might mean for her stay on Lyria and for the future relations between their worlds. 2 months into Olivia's stay on Lyria, things changed suddenly. Nova fell ill. The young Virith's fur lost its shine and she became weak and tired. Her 6 eyes dimmed and she had trouble standing. What's wrong with her? Olivia asked Kiri. As they stood beside Nova's bed in the medical center, Kiri looked worried. We don't know. Our healers have never seen this illness before. Eric's came into the room, moving quickly. The High Council leader looked tired and scared. Any change? No, Kiri said. Her condition is stable but not improving. Eric's gently touched Nova's head. Nova made a weak sound and tried to lift a limb toward her parent. The Traditionalists are saying this illness is because of human contact, Eric said quietly to Olivia. They claim you brought something from Earth that is making her sick. Is that possible? Olivia asked, worried. Kiri shook her head. You were thoroughly checked for pathogens before coming to Lyria, but they need someone to blame. Over the next few days, Nova grew worse. Olivia rarely left her side, helping the Virith healers care for her. She used her knowledge of Earth veterinary medicine to suggest treatments, but nothing worked. The Traditionalists grew louder in their criticism. They demanded that Olivia be sent back to Earth immediately. Some even called for breaking all contact with humans forever. One evening, as Olivia sat beside Nova's bed, she noticed something strange. There was a faint purple mark on Nova's fur that hadn't been there before. It reminded her of something Kiri, she called. Look at this mark. Does it mean anything to you? Kiri examined it closely. It's similar to a very old Verith disease, but that was eradicated centuries ago. Could it have been in the crashed pod? Olivia asked. Maybe in some old system that was damaged? Kiri's eyes widened. It's possible. The emergency pods have biological archives. If the containment was damaged in the crash, they worked through the night, Olivia using her medical knowledge and Kiri using virus science. They tested samples from Nova and compared them to records of the ancient disease. It is the same, Kiri confirmed finally, but slightly changed. The old treatments won't work completely. Olivia thought hard. On Earth, when a disease changes, sometimes we combine treatments. What if we tried both virus medicine and some Earth antibiotics that I brought with me? It might work, Kiri said, but it's never been done before. It could make her worse. We have to try something, Olivia insisted. She's getting weaker every day. They took their idea to Eric's, who listened carefully. The traditionalists will say this is dangerous, the leader warned. They already blame human influence for her illness. But it might save her, Olivia said. Isn't that worth the risk? Eric's looked at Nova, then back at Olivia. Yes, do it. They created a treatment combining Verith medicine with Earth antibiotics. As they prepared to give it to Nova, a group of traditionalists entered the medical center. Stop, their leader, a virus named Zora, demanded. You cannot use human treatments on the High Council leader's child. It is against our ways. My child is dying, Eric said firmly. I have approved this treatment. Then you risk all of Lyria, Zora said. This human has brought nothing but trouble. First disease, now dangerous medicines, Olivia stepped forward. I didn't bring this disease. It was in the crashed pod. But I might be able to help cure it if you'll let me try. Nova made a weak sound from her bed, reaching toward Olivia with a trembling limb. Seeing this, Eric's turned to the traditionalists. Leave now, the leader commanded. I will hear your concerns later, but not at the expense of my child's life. Reluctantly, the traditionalists left. Olivia and Kiri administered the combined treatment to Nova. Then they waited for 2 days. There was little change. Olivia barely slept, watching over Nova constantly. Then on the third morning, Nova's eyes brightened. Her fur began to regain its shine. By evening, she was sitting up, making soft, happy sounds. It's working, Kiri said with amazement. The combined treatment is working. Word spread quickly across Lyria. Nova was recovering, thanks to a treatment that combined Verith and human medicine. Olivia recorded the process carefully, working with Kiri to document everything. We should share this knowledge, Olivia suggested. Not just with a few healers, but with everyone. How? Kiri asked. On Earth, we use broadcasts to share important information. Could we do that here? Eric's, hearing the idea, agreed immediately. We will broadcast your findings to all of Lyria. Everyone should know what saved my child. The broadcast was arranged quickly. Olivia and Kiri explained how they identified the disease and created the treatment. They showed Nova, now almost fully recovered, as proof of their success. This disease was not from Earth, Olivia explained to the Lyrian audience. It was an old Verith disease that had changed while stored in the damaged pod. But the cure came from both our worlds working together. Neither virus nor human medicine alone could have saved Nova, but together they created something new and powerful. The response was overwhelming. Messages poured in from across Lyria, thanking Olivia and praising the cooperation between their species. Even some traditionalists began to change their minds. A week later, Eric's called a special meeting of the High Council. Olivia was invited, along with Nova, who was now fully recovered. The great hall was filled with virus from all walks of life. Olivia. Franklin came to our world as a visitor, Eric's announced. She saved my child not once, but twice. First from injury, then from disease. In doing so, she has shown us the value of cooperation between our peoples. Zora, the traditionalist leader, stepped forward. I was wrong about you, human Olivia. I feared change and blamed you for problems you did not cause. Many of us did. We see now that working together makes both our peoples stronger. Eric's raised all 6 limbs for silence. Today, I am proud to announce 2 things. First, the establishment of a permanent embassy between Earth and Lyria, with Olivia Franklin as its first ambassador if she accepts. The crowd cheered. Nova jumped excitedly beside Olivia. Second, Eric's continued, I bestow upon Olivia Franklin the title of Guardian of Lyria, the highest honor we can give to a non-virith. From this day forward, she will be welcome on our world as one of our own. Eric's placed a beautiful crystal pendant around Olivia's neck. It glowed with the same blue light as Virith fur. Thank you, Olivia said, tears in her eyes. When I found Nova in that crashed pod, I never imagined it would lead to this. I was just trying to help someone who needed it. And that, Eric said, is why you deserve this honor. Not because you are a skilled healer or a wise diplomat, though you are both, but because when faced with someone different from yourself, your first thought was to help, not fear. Nova hugged Olivia with all 6 limbs. Stay on Lyria? She asked. Hopefully. Olivia smiled. Yes, for a while. Then I'll visit Earth and come back again. I'll help build a bridge between our worlds. That evening, Olivia stood on the balcony of her quarters. Looking out at the crystal city of Lyria, one of the planet's 3 moons was rising, casting a purple light over everything. Nova sat beside her, happily eating a star-shaped fruit. Olivia touched the crystal pendant at her neck and thought about her journey, from a wildlife veterinarian in Alaska to a hero and ambassador on an alien world, all because she had stopped to help an injured cub. Olivia happy? Nova asked, looking up at her with all 6 eyes. Yes, Olivia said, smiling. Very happy. In the sky above them, stars twinkled, countless worlds with countless possibilities. And among them, Earth and Lyria, now connected by a simple act of kindness that had changed everything.